a secret memo coming out of the Justice Department. They're now going to go after 12 new perversions, things like bestiality, polygamy, having sex with little boys and making that legal. And not only that, but they have a whole list of strategies to go after the churches, the pastors, and any businesses that tries to assert their religious liberty. This is coming, and it's coming like a tidal wave.
Tom DeLay warned 6-7 years ago that it was written about in 2015 by Newsmax. He warned that the Justice Department of Obama wanted to legitimize 12 perversions. And after he said this, Obama legalized bestiality on U.S. military bases, Satanism, but amongst it was also sex with boys, the NAMBLA provision. Well, it turns out all of this has now officially been adopted by the Democratic Party. So here's Tom DeLay, who they tried to put in prison for warning of this, the former majority leader. Here it is.
A secret memo coming out of the Justice Department. They're now going to go after 12 new perversions, things like bestiality, polygamy, having sex with little boys and making that legal. And not only that, but they have a whole list of strategies to go after the churches, the pastors, and any businesses that tries to assert their religious liberty. This is coming, and it's coming like a tidal wave.
All right, so Congress, I just want to get this straight. So you are aware of a Justice Department memo that says there will be an effort to legitimize or legalize bestiality, pedophilia, and, as you put it, perversions?
That's correct. That's correct. They're coming down with 12 new perversions. The LGBT just isn't is only the beginning. They're going to start expanding it to the other perversions.
And then 5-6 years later, they're taking people offline when a man is in college races with girls and wins, and the girls say it's wrong, they delete their Facebook and Twitter. Because girls don't want a guy in their locker room with them walking around with his schlong. This is the total abuse, the mind control, the evil. And Tom DeLay was right about that. Speaking of Hillary, this is up on newswars.com and infowars.com, a Jamie White article. Hillary Clinton receives Unity Award for having elections stolen from her. That's right. Let's go ahead and play a clip of that.
She was elected president of the United States and it was stolen from her.
There's Jesse Jackson up there. This is a literal Hillary that said blacks were super predators that are in prison. And here are the ruling blacks, the house slaves that keep blacks enslaved. Unbelievable. So we've got that. Let's continue with your phone calls. Let's go ahead and talk to Dennis in Virginia. Thanks for holding, Dennis. You're on the air.
Hey, Alex.
Hi.
Hey, on the border, you know, the president does have a duty to protect, and previous administrations have failed to protect. You know, it's more Americans killed by illegals than that died in the Trade Center, World Trade Towers, that is, you know, every year. If there was a organized group that was coming across the borders to slaughter 4,000 to 5,000 Americans in one day, would that be considered an emergency? Just because it's spread out over a month or even a year for that matter, does that make it less of an emergency? I mean, how high does the body count need to go before these imbeciles in D.C. recognize we have a problem at our border?
Well, that's right. And we've got hundreds of thousands dead in Mexico, Latin America collapsing. As you said, over 4,000 dead a year, according to FBI's own numbers, killed by illegal aliens, and that's conservative. And so it is a classic crisis. So I don't know what Rand Paul and others are thinking, saying the president can't declare this emergency.
Yeah, if it was their children, if it was their boys and girls being killed, you know, they live in the mansions and they live behind the walls. So they're not worried about it because they're not mainstream America. They don't have to deal with the loss of life that the rest of America does.
That's right. God bless you. Great point. Thanks for holding. Let's go ahead and take another call. Who's been holding the longest now? Robert in Kansas. You're on the air. Thanks.
Hey, Alex, if you want one world satanic government, right, you got to get those perversions through. That's one of the key steps. You guys have covered a lot of topics. I want to say to the callers that keep referencing the Constitution, I'm a constitutional lover myself, but since 1871, the document's basically been void. We're a corporation. If you notice, your income tax, your speech, they want your guns, your privacy.
No, I agree. And Trump can declare emergencies now to play their game because he's the executive and actually do the right thing. You see, I'm not for the emergencies. They're constitutional of its commander-in-chief. But regardless, he can declare emergencies like they did, but then do the right thing.
Well, but the Civil War was about that, and a lot of people think that it was about, all these other things. It was really taking us from a sovereign constitutional nation into a corporation where you are now owned as a stock. And so I just want people to realize that, you can point to the Constitution, but hey, Paul Joseph Watson brought up UBI. I wanted to say as a trained economist that I advocate for UBI here in the United States. I think it will change things drastically for the better. We could outlaw homelessness, get rid of welfare, and it is actually a fair system. So if you bust your ass on a daily basis, you're going to get $1,000 check a month also that's going to take your income that much higher.
But a lot of homeless would take the money, buy drugs, and still be homeless.
My economist professors have argued this with me over and over, and eventually they say, so you just want more Cheetos and Pepsi sold, and so I understand the beer money argument, Alex, and the problem is that you're right too, and so it's kind of hard to go back and forth, but it sure would change the level of consciousness in the United States if people were able to afford food and rent as opposed to struggling so much in the financial area.
Mike in Illinois. Mike, you're on the air.
Hi, Alex. Great show. I agree with that other caller about the Constitution, but the Constitution is a common law document, and federal law, Title 27, Section 72.1.
Yeah, nothing trumps common law.
Pardon?
Nothing trumps common law.
Well, but if you're in contract, then that trumps it. So that's title. The Sixth Amendment is the right to know the nature and cause of an issue, and Roger Stone can use that not to stay out of jail because they don't want you to know the nature and cause, which is a maritime type contract where there's a paper that anybody can Google online. It's called the Special Secret Maritime Jurisdiction of the United States. Now, we know that the charges against Roger Stone, who's the injured party on it?
Nobody.
There's no injured party. So, therefore, it's a contract.
Yeah, he's not with the Russians. He didn't hurt somebody. He didn't mug him. He didn't kill him. They claim he lied to Mueller, and that's not true.
Right. And who's the injured party? Nobody. So it's the same, the maritime law is kind of the same as the military code of justice. Here you have criminal penalties, but it's only based on contract. Where if you sign up for the military, you got to, have your signature on the dotted line that says you'll obey.
No, exactly. We didn't sign on to globalism. We didn't sign on to the New World Order. We didn't sign on to carbon taxes. I hear you, and I appreciate you, Mike. We got Jim in Rhode Island and John in Arkansas, and I really need to go to your calls, but I need to let Gerald Celente take over. So I'm going to do this right now. I'm going to apologize to Jim and John and tell you, call back tomorrow. I'll be here. We'll take calls again tomorrow. You go to the front of the line, Jim and John. And briefly, DNA Force is bio-PQQ, the organic form of PQQ, CoQ10, amazing for your telomeres, your body, everything. It's been out for months and months and months. It is 33% off out of the gates, the best deal you'll find anywhere on a big, strong dose of bio-PQQ and CoQ10. DNA Force Bodies, that sale's about to end. The Ultimate Turmeric Formula, 95% curcuminoid, 50% off. X2 Survival Shield, we got it back. We got the deal signed. 25% off. It'll be shipping out in about a week and a half or less. Get your pre-order of X2 today. X2 Original, InfoWarsStore.com or 888-253-3139. We got the War Room coming up today. We got Gerald Celente next hour. We got the great David Knight tomorrow, 8 a.m. But what matters is you're out there taking action. And without you spreading the word, we are nothing. We have a chance to defeat the globalist. We're talking about real issues here. That's what upsets them. So join me tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central. Paul Watson will be in the studio tomorrow and so much more. Stay with us as we battle for a pro-human future straight ahead.
When it comes to rebuilding your energy, convenience is key. While coffee, candy, and other sugary products can give you a short boost, the crash can leave you more tired than ever. Turbo Force from InfoWars Life is a powerful mix-in energy packet that utilizes vitamins, amino acids, and extracts used for hundreds of years to provide you focus, clarity, and a boost of energy on the go. Simply take a packet, mix it into the indicated amount of water, and enjoy. With 14 servings per box for a 2-week or more supply, this is the formula to stock up on whenever you need a boost. Perfect for work, in the car, or at home. Turbo Force is the ultimate answer to a sluggish day. Don't let your day slow you down. Perk up with Turbo Force at InfoWarsStore.com.